Minos, hey, congratulations for the short film, Take Me Home.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
More of a congratulation is being showcased at Sundance this year, one of the most prestigious film festivals around the world. How do you feel about that?
I'm sort of mind-blowing, actually. We're really excited because this film is so deeply in Anna's point of view, and it feels almost experimental in that way. And we're really happy that we're going to reach a wider audience to just really listen to her. That's it. I don't know why I keep looking at him. Yeah.
Let me ask this question first: is where the original idea came from for Take Me Home?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this film for forever. You know, all of my work is deeply connected to my personal life. I am my parents are white Midwesterners. They had 4 kids and they adopted 7. 6 of them are Korean. Many of them have disabilities of varying degrees. And my youngest sister has an intellectual disability. And she was born at 2 pounds. She developed a cyst on her brain. So she has very little short-term memory, and along with other very unique disabilities. And I've always been thinking about this transition time in our lives when my parents will pass away and what will happen to her and what my responsibility to her as an adult is. And you know, recently I've been trying to go through the work with my sister to become co-guardians for that transition period, and it's very complicated. It's very overwhelming, and that's what this film is sort of about. It's capturing this moment, this transition in life. And you know, in the development of the script, I really found that there are a lot of films about the able siblings burden. And this one I wanted to be about Anna because she's the one who's losing the most. She's the one who's losing her mother and her best friend, and she's the one who's losing her home. And so I think that's what's interesting, most interesting and powerful about this script, is that it's her voice.
Wow. So did you always had the intention of putting Anna into this film rather than hiring an actor?
Mm. I would never hire an able-bodied, abled thinking actor. I know Anna so well, and this script has been written in her voice and her rhythms, that I feel like only she could do it, because I feel like the story is written or it's shown in her body and in her speech patterns and in, you know, what's behind her eyes. And I don't think you can replicate that in any way. And I want the audience to look at that, you know, and I want her disability, we don't name it, because it's sort of unnameable. It's a mixture of a million things, just like everybody's is as a human, right? And so seeing her and making people think deeply about how she thinks without giving them definitions was really important to me. So yeah, she was always gonna be in it, and it was just about how we were gonna create an environment for her to thrive.
Minos, let me bring you in here. How did you want to capture the aesthetics of you know, sort of this family drama?
Thanks for asking that, Gig. You know, Liz has a very she's developed a very clear visual style, where she uses a lot of reflections, a lot of very composed shots, and that can be seen in her first film, Strangers Reunion, as well. She has a background in choreography and all these things I mentioned because it's what I, as a director of photography, want to draw from the director. I want to use their style and sort of feed off of it to create the cinematography. But for this situation, we had talked about having some shots that were composed and stylized, and other shots that were going to be almost like documentary style handheld, where we would follow Anna. You know, she would have the freedom to move where she wanted to move, and then we would follow her with the camera and get certain coverage. And similarly, in similar terms with the lighting, we didn't want to portray Florida as this beautiful, sunny, you know, holiday destination. There are some exterior shots, but mainly the film is in an interior. It's inside the home. It's a time of upheaval for the characters, and so we wanted to create a very compressed look, with clutter and dark shadows. There's things happening inside them that is not clearly expressed, and that's part of the psychology of the characters. So we leaned into darkness and cooler blue tones for the interiors. A lot of the lighting was this harsh sunlight coming in, almost invasive, coming in from the outside and then bouncing everywhere, rather than having it be this high key sort of idyllic Florida landscape.
So this house was in Florida. You know, it wasn't really described in the short film, but I thought that was on purpose. It could have been anywhere.
For sure. Yeah, it feels like it's supposed to be anywhere America, but there's something about Florida in America that's really important to me. And that kind of sort of cookie cutter home. Yeah, this sort of lower middle class life that's not acknowledged, and especially in Florida, where there is such a high population of people with disabilities and aging, and some of the worst benefits in the country.
I think it's also worth mentioning, since we're talking about the house, that it is actually Liz's parents' house. That's actually where we shot. So there's a big, you know, sort of autobiographical aspect to the film as well.
And my mother is the mother,
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Yeah, I'm curious. Were those fake boxes, or you actually had to clean out the garage?
It's kind of a mix, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a mix.
Now, the question of because this is Anna's first time acting. How did you want to approach directing her and filming her? You know, because I could see certain challenges with that, and I don't know how you would approach on doing something like this.
We did do a screen test with her, just to see if she could sort of, if we could give her lines. We knew that she has very little short-term memory, so she wasn't going to memorize it. So it was really just about, we knew that we had to prompt her, and we would just edit that out. But we wanted to see if she could be present and find that emotional space, and she was awesome. So when we went into it, we, you know, the script was written for her, in her voice, in words that I've heard her say. But we left it open, and basically with Gina, who's you know, a New York professional actress, experienced actress, we took the script in each scene and we sort of did it on loops. And Gina knew the beats we wanted to hit, and she knew sort of the lines and the moments we wanted to capture. And I would prompt Anna with each line, and we would just do it on repeat. But I would pull back more and more and more. And by the end of these repetitions, Anna would sometimes summarize what was the film, or the scene, in a way that was like more interesting and thoughtful than, you know, we could have done it, for sure.
Yeah, and in a way, I mean, it's what you do with all types of actors, really. I mean, you do a rehearsal process, you repeat it, the whole crew needs a rehearsal, you know, to understand what's happening, and then after a couple of rehearsals, you arrive there. But in this take, we were doing a series. Sorry, in this situation, we were doing a series instead of multiple takes. So we do long takes with a series of takes within them. But we didn't want to impose anything on Anna. We wanted Anna to have also the freedom to just like do it by herself once she had it down.
So basically this entire process, the camera is running the whole time, and then you just basically edit afterwards.
Yeah, we had a lot of footage.
Yeah, we joked with the editor that was like somewhere in between editing a documentary and a narrative, because also the way that we edited it, we were like, we're gonna base this whole film off of Anna's best takes, you know, because we want her to feel real and honest and powerful the entire time. And the film is from her point of view and it focuses on her, and we're not going to move away from that. And so we pulled that, and then, you know, the film sort of reshaped itself from the script. And to be and it's more powerful that way for sure, having her lead it in every way. Yeah.
Most excellent. And then what's next after all this? Are we sticking to like the themes of like family and disability?
You know, recently I realized maybe my work is about connection. It's about, you know, as an adoptee, I think about what brings us together and what connects us and what family is and what obligation is and what makes us the same and different. And so it's wide. But for this film, it's a proof of concept for a feature. So we're building that. And we're also pushing a lot of educational and community programming, because this is also about creating a conversation about how we listen to people with disability, with cognitive disabilities, and also how families plan for the future. I think there's a lot of unseen people, yeah, who are struggling in this country, in this world.
That is true.
After Sundance, we've been fortunate enough to be accepted into South by Southwest. So it looks like the film is just at the beginning of its festival run, which is kind of cool.
Wow, that is pretty awesome. Sundance and South by Southwest. I mean, you guys just going to run the gamut with the film festivals for this show.
That's pretty right.
Well, Liz, Minos, thank you very much for speaking to us about your short film, Take Me Home, and enjoy Sundance.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gig. Have a good one.